Kannaway is the first company of its kind, the first ever cannabis-based direct selling company in the history of the world.
Now, the history of cannabis throughout the world is a very, very interesting study. Going back to ancient Chinese artifacts, we find evidence of cannabis being used therapeutically. Even here in the U.S., in the period from 1850 to 1937, cannabis was widely prescribed by medical doctors.
In 1937, that all changed when Congress passed the Marijuana Tax Act and lumped hemp in with marijuana.
Kind of went on for about 50 years until a group of us from San Diego, kind of enterprising entrepreneurs, thought if we did this a little differently, perhaps we could grow a high concentration CBD in a hemp crop. We did this and felt comfortable in shipping to all 50 U.S. states, and then over time we're currently exporting product to about 44 countries around the globe.
Any great movement like that, it begins with one person willing to stand up and say, we're going to challenge the status quo, we're going to do things differently. And that for us is Dr. Stuart Tyers, the founder of Kannaway. He was a lone voice in saying what the benefit of CBD, beneficial cannabis, was.
Well, there were a tremendous amount of challenges in developing this industry. At first, we had to find a place in the world to be able to grow a high concentration CBD in a hemp crop, and we searched the globe, wound up finding a wonderful farmer in the northern part of the Netherlands, growing a crop with a high enough concentration of CBD to potentially be therapeutic. It took us about 4 years. Of course, the fibers are very thick, almost like steel. Between ourselves and our farmer, we probably put $12 million into just developing harvesting equipment.
It's not all about just throwing some seeds in the ground and hoping you come up with a high CBD concentration crop and then being able to deliver a product. This was a process that took years and years and years to develop.
CBD and cannabinoids do have an effect directly on receptor sites within the cell membrane, and this allows many of us to overcome things such as fatigue. There is now this theory going around the medical community of clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. And this was first postulated by Dr. Ethan Russo, and he found the characteristic among these patients was that they were all very low in their internal endogenous cannabinoid levels. Once he started getting his patients to a normal cannabinoid intake, that these patients came to a much higher level of health and wellness.
We believe the best product that you can get is a real true full spectrum product like the ones we sell, sourced from a trusted grower that's been growing it from decades.
So our two-step process allows us to take many of the entourage botanicals and then we reconstitute, just put A and B together to capture as much of the goodness from the cannabis plant as we've currently been able to utilize. We really at this time are about the only company that has these blue, green, and gold products, which are more direct from the cannabis hemp plant itself. Green is the raw juice, the raw extract from the hemp plant itself, CBD in an acid form. Blue is a raw extract from the cannabis plant that's been decarboxylated, lightly heated, loses some of the plant material, concentrates the CBD to 17%. The gold basically takes our blue product that's been decarboxylated, and then we do an additional step. Removes a little bit more of the plant material, concentrates the CBD to 24%, and produces a nice golden honey color.
The triple lab testing is really one of the most important messages in our company. So we developed a process. First step, we realized you need to test the harvest. You need to test the strain. Then we extract, that's the second test. Make sure that the THC, CBD, CBDA, CBG, CBN, all of the important cannabinoids are there. And the third test is the final good. When you're mixing with other ingredients, with other formulas, things may change. So we want to ensure once we bottle it, not only it's got the milligrams we promise, it's got the safety that we promise, and it's got everything that you need.
Medical Marijuana Inc. really is a company of firsts, and it's Kannaway's parent company. In 2009, it was the first ever publicly held cannabis company in the United States. In 2012, we were the first company in the history of the world to launch a CBD product. And in 2014, a major first for the company. The first ever cannabis-based direct selling company was introduced to the world, Kannaway. In 2017, the company had a breakthrough. We were the first company to ever present to the World Health Organization on the safety and efficacy of CBD-based products. Just this year, we had another amazing first. We were the first company to ever have a cannabis-based supplement, our CBD products, in the PDR, the Physician's Desk Reference. For the first time, we cracked the DSN Top 100. It means Kannaway is one of the world's largest 100 direct selling companies. We've still got a long ways to go, but we've been recognized over and over from 2018 to 2019 because of our growth, and I expect that to continue into 2020 and beyond. You can look at everything around you right now. Okay, look at your watch, look at your computer, look at your TV. Are all those things going to be bigger in 10 years than they are today? I don't know the answer to that. But with respect to cannabis, you could ask anybody that's living on the planet today whether the cannabis industry is going to be bigger 10 years from now than it is today, and it's a universal yes. So how do you profit? I guess you could start a dispensary if you live somewhere where that's legal, and if you want to invest a bunch of capital and get all the right licenses. I guess you could open a CBD hemp store and you want to hire a bunch of employees and get all the infrastructure in. Or Kannaway could be the perfect opportunity for every single person to get involved in the cannabis movement.
One of the greatest shifts in public thought in the last 70 years, and I can participate for the simple price of a BA fee and acquiring a few products to get started. Wow.
You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a farmer. You don't have to be an accountant. You don't have to be a salesperson. Everything's done for you.
Ich denke, Hanka und ich, wir haben unser ganzes Leben auf eine Möglichkeit wie diese gewartet. Wenn sich sein Leben durch unsere Produkte verändert, wenn sich sein Leben durch unsere Geschäftsmöglichkeit verändert, dann darf auch etwas retourkommen, dann können wir auch ernten.
We are making a difference in the world. We're changing laws. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? And to share and educate and empower others? Oh my goodness. And to be rewarded abundantly, financially, and with your health, all wins.
You know, the Kannaway journey has been almost the stuff of dreams. I mean, you talk about where we started back in 2014, 2015, starting to get the message out there, you know, only a little bit of growth. March 2016, we get a new CEO, Blake Schrader comes on.
And since then, Kannaway ourselves has grown 80 times, and we've been the leaders all over the world, educating and opening more and more opportunities. And I know as Kannaway gets to grow, when we scale bigger and bigger, this 80 will turn to 100 to 200 fold as we begin to really set a foundation for a truly global legacy company.
It is not easy to craft a plan that would meet the needs of one with a multi-million-dollar annual income objective and also meet the needs of somebody who is struggling so hard in life and wants extra $500 a month. This compensation plan does a better job than anything I have witnessed in my 30 years in the industry of properly and adequately distributing the income among various participants at various stages of development.
So what we do is we share not only, you know, the income potential that they have, but also the other things like the trips and the little incentive recognitions, and people will work harder for that than they will for $1.
We've been to Hawaii, we've been to Costa Rica, where will we go next? We want you there with us. This is all there to say thank you for all the things that you do, and so you can have that with Kannaway, have a lot of fun and make some great memories along the way.
I remember I walked through the doors of the company my first day that I joined Kannaway, and I met Stuart and his partner. And then I watched Stuart for a little while, and he would always have these groups of people coming into the office, helping him, and giving away massive amounts of products. And I thought, you know what, he's making a big change in these people's lives, but it needs to be bigger than just Stuart, because he can't be everywhere at one time. And so we decided to create a nonprofit organization called ECHO.
ECHO Connection is an international charity, and we envision a world where cannabinoids are universally available and accepted by all. And we have seen profound changes in the health and well-being of families.
I just was like sitting there watching, I'm like, oh my God, I think can't believe it's actually working this quick. My wife came home and she just walked up and started crying and said, I got my baby back.
We always say that we would do anything for our children or for our families, and these people truly have moved mountains for their babies and for the rest of their families. And it's truly thousands of us all over the world giving just a small amount each month that keeps the ECHO families going. It's a part of our culture and it's a part of our legacy as a company.
This plant really changed my life, changed the life of my family. and of course, changed the life of my little girl.
I believe the time will come when, literally span the globe, east to west and north and south, the end of the prohibition of cannabis is a process that has begun. It's a process that will not be stopped. And if one earns market share today in the evolving process, there is simply no limitation of the financial outcomes.
We find ourselves in the midst of a cannabis boom. Kannaway is leading the way in terms of education, in terms of giving back through Echo, and in terms of making a difference in the world. I invite you, whether it's to become a customer of our company or a brand ambassador, get involved and make a difference.